Just toss the pizza down the sewer and throw the money up, dude.
And now I just have this like flap of skin that I don't know what's gonna go on inside my mouth. I got a lot of shit going on.
Because there could be a goddamn wolf chained to the wall in the bathroom of some shitty marathon in the middle of nowhere.
It's like a deer in headlights look, or maybe if you got a deer wiping its ass.
And it is time for episode 8, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing this evening? Welcome to the Dapper Dads podcast. It is Fast Finger Slim.
And Drama.
How's everybody's Friday going tonight? We hope it's well. We've been having a fantastic one ourselves. Checked out a couple of Halloween stores. Well, just one.
Yeah, you're already lying to the people.
50% of the information is accurate. There's so many in town. If you visit one, it's basically like you're visiting all of them because it's going to be the same stock everywhere that you go.
Same bullshit. It's also a scorcher out.
God, it is the first day of fall. It is the first day of fall.
We also, we're a little caught up, so when we record these, we're only 1 week out. So we're a little bit sooner.
But for those listening, this was last Friday, when it was a goddamn scorcher outside.
Yeah, it's like 90 out, and it's the first day of fall.
And I have been driving around all day just doing
Getting
stuff.
sweaty and angry.
Getting sweaty and angry. And it's like, it doesn't matter what I do. Didn't matter what music I listen to. I was sweaty and angry all day.
The heat drives you crazy. And like at this point, like I love the fucking fall. I love the cool weather. But even if I didn't, at this point, I'd be like, let's fucking end it already. I'm going to end my fucking life if it's 90.
We just got to make it to Tuesday if the forecast is
I know.
right.
I've been looking at it because
4 days. God, I'm off Wednesday and Thursday next week. So that's
going to run around naked outside.
I'm literally
like,
just going to lay out in my goddamn driveway. And I'm going to get a kiddie pool. And I'm going to get some hot dogs. I'm going to be like, where'd you go? There you are. And then they're going to be trying to sell the one across the street.
Yeah. I think it'll work out.
That's my MO.
I like it.
We had a bunch of kiddie pools on clearance at work, so I bought a bunch of them, and that's going to be my MO for the fall is sit outside with some pumpkin spice, just hanging back in the kiddie pool.
Some pumpkin spice in the kiddie pool?
Yeah, it's going to be a pumpkin spice latte in the kiddie
ladies,
pool.
come ladle out some pumpkin spice in my kiddie pool.
Okay, I had a conversation earlier this week, and I think this is an opinion that you can agree with. Sometimes it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And I think that can be said for a lot of things. And there was one point.
So you're telling me that there's a good way to say, "Hey, lady, come ladle out some pumpkin spice out of the kiddie pool."
What I'm saying is that like there's different scenarios where you would say these things in different ways, and it would come across as one way or another. So like if you were at a frat party and somebody was like, "Hey, ladies, come ladle some pumpkin spice lattes out of the kiddie pool," that would be an acceptable practice and way to say that.
I don't think it would.
Well, that's your opinion, and that's why we have a show where we talk about our different opinions on things.
Yeah, and that leads to a few announcements that we wanted to get off at the top of the episode for those of you that only listen to 20 minutes and realize it's garbage.
Because I mean,
some big announcements.
Big announcements.
Big things popping. First, this is the last episode. I fucking hate Fast Finger Slim, and we're fucking done.
Man, I can't believe
I
can't believe you put me on recording like this. We had something special, damn it.
We didn't have anything. I have this with everybody.
Are you saying that weekend in Boca Raton meant nothing?
It meant everything to me, but that was a time in our life.
And that's who we were, and that's not who we are now.
All right, folks, it's been nice. Anyway.
Life's getting dark.
Oh, already. In real announcements, we're probably not breaking up, but you never know. Slim's on thin ice. We have a website.
Yeah, Slim's on thin ice.
It is thedapperdads.com, which I was a little bit surprised we were able to obtain. No one owns thedapperdads.com.
There is a Dapper Dads Twitter, but we are 100% not affiliated.
We are not affiliated with that.
If you go, for the record, we do not have a Twitter. So if you are trying to follow us on Twitter and you follow the Dapper Dads, you will be sorely disappointed.
It's a little different than what we.
It's not something we'll condone, but it's not what we represent.
Yeah, we just want to get that clear. We don't have Twitter or Instagram.
No.
We will one day if y'all start making this like a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Because it could be funny. I have a Twitter, and I'll plug everything because I've been trying to do this.
I also have a Twitter.
I
got like 50 followers.
I've got 500 and something.
Interesting, and yet no one retweets.
Yeah, I know. So if you're on Twitter, come retweet me because if you like this comedic gold on the podcast, it's just in written form on Twitter. And it also gets sad sometimes I tweet depressing lyrics, but it's
which I also retweet.
Yeah, because we're both sad.
Yeah,
it's Brain Dead Drama, BrainDeadrama. That was probably more confusing than it needed to be.
I mean, I don't think
that's that's on Twitter.
Stand
Snapchat,
by with your pen and paper for
Instagram.
this.
Follow me on everything. You'll see Some wild times.
If you are looking for me on Twitter, follow Fast Finger Slim. The picture is me kissing a bouncy ball. Don't ask why.
Mine is me in a bathtub littered with beer bottles.
That is one of my favorite pictures of you for what it's worth.
It's nice. But yeah, back to the real thing. We have a website, thedapperdads.com. It's very nice. I made it.
I'm actually very, very, not to say that I was surprised that you could make a good product, but it's impressive. If you go on the website, the first thing you're going to see our logo at the top, it's a recognizable logo. Underneath, you're going to get different links to where you can check us out. So if you aren't someone who has an iPhone and you want to check it out on Google Play, we traded small pieces of our souls to get the information to figure out how to put this up on Google Play.
I met a wizard under a bridge, and he finally gave me the link to our Google Play. And yeah, the links to everything, Stitcher, YouTube, Bandcamp.
And then we also have the episodes available to stream on the website as well.
Yes, so directly from the website.
So if that's easier for you to do, we just have all the information in one place.
Yeah.
If you're trying to talk...
Everything's in one nice little package for you there.
Exactly.
We also have the link to the Facebook page, which you should like and give us 5 stars on. We have our email, so you can shoot us an email. And we also have a nifty little submissions thing, so you can submit right from that page and whatever the fuck you want. A story, a topic, a would you rather.
If you listen to the last episode, we did have someone submit a story that we talked about on the air. So if you have anything that you feel would be fun to talk about on the podcast, we will take it. We do not have any kind of restrictions. Send us anything. We will talk about it.
Yep. Email or submission on the website. Or another fun thing that we have is a phone number.
Yes, explain this to people, because this was a new thing when you explained it to me. So go ahead and get into some detail about this for people who may not be clear about it.
You can call us at 402-7-DAPPER, which is 402-732-7737. The way it works, it's just like a phone. So you can leave a voicemail with your story, question, topics, whatever, and we'll splice in the voicemail if it's nice and we want to. Or you can fucking text it. You can text it pictures, video, just a text message, whatever the fuck you want. This, again, is a free-for-all.
Literally, we don't have restrictions. We don't discriminate. If you have something that you feel that the Dapper Dads would have some strong opinions on and can talk about on the air, we love taking submissions because we love doing this. We love sitting here every Friday and doing a show, but really, we want this to be a good experience for people. We want this to be good entertainment. And a lot of times, for me, good entertainment comes when I can immerse myself into the experience of the entertainment.
Yeah, you can be a part of this shit.
Exactly. And I mean, how many times have you idolized something and thought God, I wish I could be a part of that, or I wish I could, do more with this.
Yeah.
We're giving you guys the chance to just give us stuff to talk about on the air. We will check it out no matter what.
The phone number I'm very excited about. Like I said, if you leave a voicemail, we can just splice it into the episode. So you
absolutely.
Can fucking be on this shit.
Hopefully we can eventually be like Howard Stern or Alex Jones. Fuck Alex Jones once again. If we can get a soundboard on the show where we can take incoming calls.
Yes, we can definitely do that.
Get some shitty DJ soundboard effects down here. I would really be excited to get into that.
We're gonna keep progressing. But 402-7-DAPPER. Call us, text us, hit us with what you fucking got, and check out that website. It's beautiful.
So just a continuation from last week's episode, I did go out to Blood's Point that night.
And what did you see?
I saw some shit. Just did some things. Wouldn't recommend it.
Was the witch pussy too real?
If I could give this experience a Yelp review, I would give it 0 stars. But since I cannot, I will give it 1. Ghost too spicy. Witch pussy too spicy. Music too spicy. 0 stars.
I like it because it also sounds like witch pussy. Like which one?
Which one? Which one? The life of witch pussy. Which one? Which one?
I'm gonna Photoshop that.
Please. I'm just picturing that's gonna be the graphic for next week.
Yeah, I think that's a little too intense.
My buddy and I. So keep in mind. The disclaimer here is do not do this.
Yes.
Do not ever do this. Don't even think about doing this. I didn't tell anyone to do this.
We don't even listen to this.
Just do something for the next 5 minutes. Check out. Can we just plug a song while I'm telling the story?
Yeah.
My buddy and I, we walked down the train tracks and we started because we went and we parked over by the bridge.
Also, don't walk down train tracks is also good.
Yeah, I mean, just don't do anything.
You want to fucking, what's the movie? Stand By Me?
Don't do what Fast Finger Slim does. That's a good way to live your life.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Don't do what the Dapper Dads do.
That's how I live my life, is not doing what you do.
That's funny because I live my life by going, what would drama do? And then I do the exact opposite.
God, we're going to make bracelets.
WWDD. WWFD.
Yeah. Why would you fuck a dad?
Why would you fuck a Dapper dad?
Anyway, so you're on the train tracks.
So I'm on the train
sad.
tracks, looking sad, stand by me and walking down. Didn't bring a flashlight because I'm a genius. So we just use our phone flashlights.
Yeah.
And as we got farther down the track, we would stop, and we were trying to walk in tandem, so it didn't sound like a bunch of people walking. And as we got farther,
the spirits.
As we got farther down, we would stop and we would shine the light around, and we shined it like this, and I saw something reflect back from a little bit ways down the railroad track. Probably take like the corner down there and double it, and that's about as far away as it was. And so we just kind of stopped and looked at it, and you know, there's so many things where it's like, is it psychosomatic? Am I doing this to myself? I thought I saw them kind of like move back and forth a little bit.
I had to work for that one.
I was gonna say that.
I think the last episode was burpless.
No, there was at least one.
I don't think so.
Oh, great! Now I'm gonna have to
call us 4027 Dapper. Tell me if I burped in episode 7.
Just do this for.
There's
everything.
one guy that's like, oh, I
who's
will.
just fact checking everything for us.
And he's already just like, this is fucking. None of this is right. Nothing they say is
He's
right.
got like the Charlie Day Pepe Sylvia thing going on in his house. He's like, no. So when they say about this, but they were really doing this at this time, I got boxes of Dapper Dads down here. So we just kind of like looked at each other, and we were like, because it could have been like a reflector on the railroad tracks. It could have been some eyes. We didn't really want to find out. So we turned around and we started going back the other way down the railroad tracks. And every time I turned back, it was still there. And what I found more odd about it was the farther away I got, it was still minutely reflected no matter how far away I got. And if that freaked me out enough. So I'm walking down the tracks and I'm just like, yeah, Jesus, goddamn Christ. So I'm like, what am I doing out here? If I get killed out here, if I go missing, this is going to be the last thing I ever do. I record a podcast, and the next night I go out and I get killed by the witch. And so we go the other way down the tracks. And as we're walking down the tracks, we hear like a come from the woods. And that always makes me feel really, really good. And I mean, that could be anything. It could be something that like fell out of a tree. Something, but like it sounded like a rock throwing and hitting something.
And then after that, you heard "Mama,"
"Mama," and then there was
Offset. What if you were like went to a haunted place and it was just haunted by Migos ad libs?
Not even haunted by Migos. It was just Migos actually in the haunted house.
And then you finally are like, "We should get the fuck out of here." And then they're like, "Yeah, that way."
That way.
And you're like, "Fuck, thank you."
So like, I'm picturing like a Scooby-Doo style episode, Dapper Dads checking out haunted houses featuring Migos.
Yeah,
and there's like the running in between the doors and everything.
Yeah.
And we just pull the mask off somebody at the end, and it turns out it's
all 3 Migos.
No, we pull the mask off the monster at the end, and it's Joe Budden.
And he just yells at us about real rap.
Who was the DJ? DJ
Academics.
It's Academics. Joe Budden. We're like, turns out they were the monsters all along, and we would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddlesome mumble rappers.
Yeah. B. Yes, son.
B. And then it just goes into brand new Migos music. It's just a promo for Culture 2 coming out.
Oh God.
By the way, thanks Quavo for losing Culture 2. By the way, I thought we were supposed to get it this fall, so. Falls today. I'm waiting. I didn't get Culture 2.
Yeah, it's like you believe when rappers make fake release dates.
I mean, I believed in Flockavelli too for a couple of years.
Astro World coming soon.
Astro World coming in.
Every collaboration ever coming soon.
Do you think we're ever going to get the Cactus Jack Huncho album or no? I want it.
There's so many songs.
And there's so many fake track lists out there too that bug the hell out of me. Why the hell would they record a song called Soup? Tell me that. Whipping up soup in the crock pot.
I bet it's great. I feel like that
soup.
is one that we will actually get. I feel like a lot of times it's the fucking labels. Like there's like fucking Migos and Thug Project and like everyone and Fetty Wap and Thug and like Bobby Shmurda and Migos.
Free like Bobby Shmurda 2017.
It's all the labels. Like you can't keep releasing like this amount of music. It's because people release too much music and then it's just like
it's so congested
the labels
that you can't
like,
focus on
it. You can't
anything.
fucking do this. We can't promote any of this.
Yeah, I mean, Post Malone just put out Rockstar with 21 Savage, and that shit's a year old. He was teasing that like a year ago. Remember when he had the Snapchat video where he was like just showing off the song? It was Rockstar, and he just put it out last Friday.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot where people don't realize like how long it takes that process to actually come to fruition. What about the fucking Chance and Childish Gambino?
Donald Glover did say that absolutely is going to happen.
I know, but he's been saying that for years.
I know,
since it was like now it's barely a plausible thing. Didn't he say he was going to quit music?
No, but he said he was going to quit, but then he's like not quitting.
I saw that
I don't know.
thing. Yeah,
he's probably going to like retire Childish Gambino and start something
that's what
else
he
under
said.
a
Is
new
he
name.
doesn't want to be Childish Gambino, which makes sense because that last album is not like a Childish Gambino.
No,
album
and it was
to me.
good.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it was bad, but like when I listen back,
it's
to
not
it,
what I want as much.
No, it's good, but like I got to be in the right mood to listen to it. You know?
Yeah.
But so as we're going down the other side of the tracks, everything leads back to Migos. So when we went that way down the tracks, we heard the knock, and then we kept going, and we both just kind of stopped and looked at each other, and we just had this weird, uncomfortable feeling, and we were just kind of like, do you want to turn back? And we were like, yeah, let's go ahead and turn back. So we're walking our way back down the tracks. We get to the car, and when we get to the car, we're right there by where the power lines are, you know?
Yeah.
And usually you can hear like electricity humming off the power lines. Mm-hmm. Didn't hear electricity, but we heard like, it's really hard to explain, but it sounded like music from very, very far away, but it didn't sound like somebody having like a house party or something or like listening to a movie. It was just this weird, like resonant tone that had like a rhythmic pattern to it. Like it was just like this ominous sounding music, and we don't know where it was coming from. We don't know why it was happening, but it sounded far enough away that if I was to explore a little bit, I could probably find it, but it sounded ominous enough that I didn't want to find it. So we just got in the car and fucking left.
Oh, you should have investigated, because it's probably just that I'm blue, I'm in the I'm blue, I'm
Do you know Eiffel 65 has just been hanging out at Blood's Point all these years? That's why he hasn't been putting shit out. I got lost out here looking for Witch Pussy. Help me.
My new album titled Witch Pussy.
Witch Pussy. How many years has it been? Probably like almost 30. Oh, God. Has it been almost 30 years since I'm Blue came out?
I don't think so.
It came out in like the early 90s?
Yeah, that's not 30.
No, it's going to be almost 30 years from now.
It's creeping up like a witch pussy. We gotta get rid of that.
We gotta just scrap this whole episode already.
Yeah, I had a fun time with it, and I couldn't get away from it. You look so angry.
I'm so hot. It is so hot.
It's almost too hot. You guys don't respect us enough.
No, we are out here sweating our goddamn asses off to record this premium comedy content.
We are
for
dripping
everybody.
wet. And not in the good way.
No, not in the ways that I like to be dripping wet, more in the ways where it's like, I wish I could be dead right now. I should be dead. I should be dead. I should be dead.
Well, we found what we're splicing.
Like that part where it's just like the part where it's like, I should be dead. I should be dead. Like exactly like that.
I should be dead. 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 Think I ain't dead. I should be dead. Follow my mothers, I'm walking like that. Look at my ways, I'm in their days. I should be dead. I should be dead.
Yeah, we should be dead.
Two things I found of note recently in the news I wanted to bring up on the show today.
Here it goes. We're a news podcast now.
No, I want you to agree with me on how extravagantly bad this idea is. Walmart is testing an idea where they will deliver groceries to your refrigerator in your house while you aren't home. I wish I was making that up.
I've been trying to do this forever.
There is no way that this could work in some of the like Walmarts that are out there. I don't think any of the Rockford Walmarts could handle that. I would not trust anybody that works any of them. I wouldn't trust a stranger to come and put groceries in my fridge and not eat some of them while I'm there, much less take stuff or touch stuff of mine.
Eating is the least of my concerns.
What are they going to do to my stuff when they're in my house? Because like, are you going to do you do like a background check on these people before they start delivering groceries to your house?
I mean, there's the background check to like work there. I don't know how strenuous that is.
It's not.
And yeah, like who do you pick to be like, you're gonna go deliver groceries? And how does it work? Do you give them like...
And that seems like such a dangerous thing to like put on a person to go do that, because like what if somebody in like a bad neighborhood orders groceries and wants you to come in their house? Like
and then they rob
what if you go into and they rob you? Like to me this
man.
Like this sounds...
Rob your local pizza man.
Don't go to Blood's Point. Don't rob your local pizza man.
Unless you can order a pizza to Blood's Point and then rob them. That's the perfect
because like who's gonna believe that you got robbed for a pizza out at Blood's Point? Can you imagine? Like, okay, some Pizza Hut driver.
It's like in Teenage
need
Mutant
you
Ninja Turtles when they're like, yeah, we'll take a pizza, just dump it in the sewer, no big deal. Here's some money and a turtle hand. Even as a kid, I was like, this doesn't seem right, because someone, like, if I was the pizza man, and because it's always like, well, where's the building at? And then they're like, down here, bro, radical pizza in the sewer.
Just toss the pizza down the sewer.
Slide it
Throw
in
the
the
money up, dude. Don't ask any questions about the radical voices you're hearing come out of the sewer.
We got a big rat down here.
We got a big rat and a lust for pies.
And this attractive woman that hangs out with turtles and a big rat.
We've got ooze.
April O'Neil.
Man.
Is that a porn star? Is that right? It's definitely a porn
It's
star.
definitely someone definitely used the name for pornographic purposes.
I can picture the porn star.
Can you?
Yeah.
April O'Neil, if you're listening to the show, please let us know.
She's got a big tree tattoo that takes away from everything.
Interesting.
I don't want to talk about it, April. I'll call you later. 4027 Dapper, April.
Just this whole
Cry
show
in my
just becomes a plug
voicemail.
for the phone
Yeah.
number.
We really need calls, texts, pictures, video, things you do on phones. It's like a game show. What do you do on phones? Rattle
What
them
if
off.
phones? But
What
too
phones?
much.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about
delivering groceries.
Yeah.
So, like, how did they get into your house? Do you give them a key, a garage code? If you're not there.
I just briefly saw the story while I was running around today. I didn't get a chance to do too much thoroughly into it. But to me, I was driving around thinking about it in my angered state because it's so fucking hot in this town right
God,
now.
it's so hot now.
We've had
Walmart
like
is delivering
17 hurricanes. It's hot as shit on the first day of autumn, and people are like, nah, global warming is
Yeah.
just a myth.
I don't think about global warming a lot, but when I was driving today, I was like, is this global warming?
This is affecting me in a very real and personal way, finally.
Yeah, but I feel like we're getting too forward with, like, yeah, just come in my house and drop off groceries. Like,
I mean, I just don't trust
companies
people
are trying
enough
to
to do
keep
that.
up with the youth and, like, all the cool gadgets we can use to get things. And yeah, I don't want people in my house. Like,
No.
just
I don't like anybody in my house that I don't want in there
also,
ever all
like,
the time.
the least of my concerns, but still a decent one, is like, you're gonna put the shit in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You know, your fridge is
You
your
know how
fridge.
you have your fridge set up.
So I'm like, don't be putting the ranch where the ketchup
Do you
goes.
ever go to people's houses and judge their fridges?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, that's
I'm
all
like,
I do.
What are you doing in here?
My
It's just
sister
a
comes to my house
clusterfuck.
and she spends like 10 minutes talking to me in the living room, goes into my kitchen, opens up the fridge and sees what I have inside the fridge and then makes comments about it the whole time.
My fridge is typically like understocked, and I'm always like, don't look in the fridge. Don't judge me like, oh, you've got mayonnaise.
Next time I'm at your house, that's the first thing I'm going to do when I walk in. Hey, drama, how's it going? Where's the fridge at?
You've got mayonnaise and 3 cases of beer. Where are your priorities at? And I'm like, on the bottom shelf, the 3 cases of beer. You fucking idiot. You want a beer? I got 3 cases of beer.
Want a spoon of mayonnaise to wash it down with?
I mix that shit up. I call it the drama cocktail. Kids, get a beer. And
Preferably in
a spoonful.
America.
Preferably America, but if you don't want to send the check, America, aka Budweiser, then I'll fucking.
We'll
I got other beers.
we got bitch beer down here.
We got bitch beer.
Why do you keep bringing bitch beer back to the dungeon?
It's just in the fridge upstairs. It's limited options. I didn't come with this. It's not like I bring one. We'll
Debatable.
say it. Grapefruit shandy.
Yeah, it's a fantastic product.
It is nice, but it feels weird. But yeah, I just don't trust people in my fridge. Another thing that I've thought of, and like my whole life has been ridiculed. People have like brought this up and think it's weird. I don't drink pop anymore because it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I drank it for 24 years.
Yeah.
Like aggressively.
What was your soda of choice?
Mountain Dew.
Oh, absolutely.
It's my dad's soda. I remember being like 3 and drinking a Mountain Dew.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, and it's like horrible. Like my sperm is all dead. My bones are frail. Like I'm just. I mean,
I feel like
wasting
that's
away.
a lot of products from just who you are as a person, though. I feel like you're wasting away for more than just the Mountain Dew since age 3.
I mean, that's probably up there for sure, but that's why I just cover it up with all these other garbage products.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drank pop for way too long, and I mean, like Mountain Dew was like my basement bitch. So if I fall through the other levels of the house, I've got Mountain Dew. I was on Coke for a while. Coca-Cola, not cocaine. I had those
Gross.
years where I was on Coke. I used to dabble in like an orange Fanta or something. I love a good orange. My grandma always has Sprite and RC Cola. Yeah. My family on that side loves RC Cola. Find me another person who even fucking has tasted an RC Cola in the past 15 years.
There was one time as a child, I remember I like helped one of my neighbors with some yard work or something, and she was an older lady.
She's like, here, you worked hard. Here's a refreshing RC Cola.
With a Baby Ruth candy bar.
Holy shit, that's the oldest combination.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
world.
it was.
That's what Jesus ate and drank before he was crucified.
When he said, "Eat of my body and drink of my blood," it was just an RC Cola with a Baby Ruth. I feel like that's what was originally on the painting of the Last Supper.
I feel like that was the most offensive thing we've ever said on here.
I mean, at least we're not going out like John Lennon saying we're bigger than Jesus. We just say.
I think we're bigger than Jesus.
I would also go out on a limb to say we're bigger.
There goes the whole fucking.
There goes the whole Christian. Joel. We lost our Joel Osteen sponsor. Fuck.
He's got money too because he doesn't pay anyone.
I mean, he doesn't pay anyone, and he doesn't want anybody dirting up his mega church.
But yeah, anyway, so I drank. Yeah, it's so hot.
I don't want to keep harping on this, but god damn.
Bad. Anyway, so I drank pop for so many years, and in my household, like my dad was like a we'll say like a case of Mountain Dew every like 2 to 3 days type habit, and so we would typically drink cans. I always prefer cans of pop.
My just a quick interjection. My cousin.
No, fuck you.
Fine,
anyway,
fuck me.
Turn the mic off.
My cousin at one point was drinking a 24-pack of Mountain Dew a day.
Yeah.
And then couldn't figure out why his teeth hurt. And then he went to the dentist and he had 10 cavities. Because that's all he was drinking. I went to the dentist
recently for the first time in a long time. I have like 17 cavities and a lot of shit. I got to get a tooth pulled in under a month.
How do you even eat?
with these fucked up teeth. Nothing hurts really, except this tooth I'm going to get pulled. I was always like, we should pull it because it seems like it's a bad. I got like both my far back teeth on the bottom are like shattered, and they're like, does that hurt? And I'm like, no, not really. Occasionally it might hurt. So then of course 1 month before my dentist appointment to have it pulled, to the fucking day, it starts hurting like crazy all last week. And so I've just finally took a bunch of ibuprofen for like 2 days, and I think that made like because it was like my cheek got cut by my tooth and like swelled into my tooth, and it was like a nightmare. So I finally got the swelling down. It doesn't hurt anymore, knock on wood. And now I just have this like flap of skin that I don't know what's going to go on inside my mouth. I got a lot of shit going on.
How do women kiss you?
They don't. One day they will, though, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Help the Dapper Dad drama kiss a girl.
Just one.
Just one girl.
I don't know if I like it. Might like dudes kissing me. Anyway, so drank pop forever. My life is fucked because of it. Typically drink cans, but when we had 2 liters, so you pour like a big glass out of the 2 liter.
Yeah.
And then...
You mean you don't just drink it straight after you've had it in the freezer for a couple hours?
That is the... Oh, God.
That is the
Another
best.
thing, I've stopped drinking pop in next month in October. It'll be 2 years.
Congratulations.
Not drinking pop.
That is awesome.
Every day I want to drink pop. People are like, when you quit anything, like I've quit smoking cigarettes for like 2 years and stuff. And I do go back to it, but I can quit, like, which is what everyone says. It's not like, I can quit.
I can stop whenever I want. I don't need it.
Yeah. But I have quit. I've quit a lot of things. And, like, if I quit smoking for, like, a week, like, then I just lose the appeal of smoking.
Yeah.
Pop every single day. I'm like, oh, it'd be so good to just go get a fucking 44-ounce
What?
cold Mountain Dew from the gas station and just go lock myself in a room somewhere and just drink that motherfucker. And I don't
hide your sins from God and cover your face with a blanket and shit.
But yeah, but like pop grosses me out now, and I think that's the only way. But every day I still want to fucking pop
Every
forever.
now and again, I will get a pop from work if I've like had zero sleep, and I'll just get some Mountain Dew, and it's just it's so thick, like it's so regrettable every time I do it. No, it's just drinking like syrup half the time. Like it doesn't matter. Like you get it in a bottle, a can, like anything.
I had a Coca-Cola on Christmas. I had one sip. Just like in this 2 years, so I haven't been perfectly sober, but I had one sip, and it's just like drinking acid.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? I did that for 20 some years.
Yeah, and I was fine with it.
Yeah, but drinking it, if you put that 2 liter in the freezer, get it it's a little chunky because it's getting iced up, but it's not ice.
It's so good.
God, I want one right now. I'll do anything for it right now. But
so, you just leave the show. We hear you run out.
We
just hear like, and then like car revs and flies off and away. Drama will be back. Text the phone number. Give me something to talk
Life's
about.
getting dark. 4027 Dapper.
I remember when I was a kid.
Let me get to this finally.
Okay, go
'cause
to
I've
it
been
finally,
I've been
Jesus.
working on this bitch. So we pour a cup of pop out of the 2-liter, squeeze the 2-liter until the pop rises, and then cap it. Get the air out of it. Have you ever seen this or heard of this or thought of this?
I have not. Keep going.
I would do this at people's houses, like get their 2-liter and do it, and people like lose their shit. Like, what are you doing to... And like me and my dad always did it, so I did it, and he would be like, it keeps the air out, which does make sense to me.
Yeah,
I
so
think
your-
there's science
So
there.
your soda doesn't go flat.
Yeah. And people, like, one time I was at someone's house and I did it, and they were like, what the fuck? And, like, dumped the soda out. Like, I had just,
Like
fucking...
pissed in it or
yeah,
something.
jizzed in it. And I was, like, trying to tell them, and they're like, no, you just leave it as is. And I'm like, something weird has happened to you in your life with a 2-liter pop, so I'm not going to squeeze yours.
I mean, the
But,
only thing that I can think is that, like, if you squeeze it too much to where you have, like, probably half of it gone, it might not stand up in the fridge right, but, like...
It still does.
Who's
like,
such, like a Tyrell from Mr. Robot that, like, they don't want their soda standing a certain way in the fridge?
Yeah, and I mean, it honestly even makes more space because it gets thinner.
You're going to be the next CEO of Dapper Dads. Just do it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's just my little tidbit. If you have a 2-liter, squeeze it. It keeps your pop fresher. I promise you.
Test it and let us know if it works.
Do it at people's houses and see if they have
See if they just lose their goddamn mind.
Just
Apparently,
break down.
I remember when I was a kid, and like a young enough kid to where like I hadn't had any soda at all. I actually wasn't allowed to have soda as a child growing up. And
Weird. I can't relate.
See, what happened was my sister was the bad kid growing up until like 6, and then I've just been bad ever since. And when we were kids, I went to preschool, and someone brought soda in for a snack, and I said, I can't have that. My mom won't let me. And my sister, in the meanwhile, was at my grandma's house, and she would run around and grab everyone's Diet Coke cans and suck the last couple drops out of the bottom of them. Like a real baller.
Yeah, that's...
But I remember, so I never had soda as a child, and then I was like drinking a Mountain Dew one day, and I was with my dad, and I was like, oh, this burns my tongue, it's weird.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's your body telling you that you shouldn't be drinking that, so you should never drink soda. And
if I have kids, that's exactly what I would do.
I mean, I don't think fear parenting is necessarily a good way
All
to
of
raise
my
your
parenting
children.
will be fear parenting.
I mean,
All of it.
regardless of if it's animals, children,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
I would love to meet your children someday and just be like, I know some stories about your dad.
Yeah, because I've been a huge piece of shit, so I know where to apply the pressure. My parents were far too liberal with me and, like, let me do whatever. Like, specifically one time, I got picked up from high school from my mom, and I got in the car, and she was like, we got your report card today. And I knew what I was in store for. It's some D's, some F's,
yeah.
a nice little sprinkling, a nice little sample of what I can achieve when I don't put any effort forth, because I hated school, and I still hate school.
Absolutely hated it.
And I'm not stupid.
No, and that's the thing. Everybody assumes that, like, if you don't get a college degree that you're an idiot. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that, like,
I hate sitting in school.
I just can't. If I was going to do college, it would be something like online classes. And it's like, I've looked into it before, but it's like, I just can't, like, get it off the ground.
Yeah, I only go to college when I'm a little bit older and for sure the coolest dude there. But my mom picked me up one day and she was like, got your report card? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's not looking very good, but I already bought you Happy Walk. So she gave me Happy Walk and was like, get better grades. Very, very loose parenting.
I mean, what is she? I mean, okay, here's the difference in that. If this was me and my dad picked me up from school and he was like, well, I got your report card and I got Happy Walk, so I'm gonna eat this in front of you.
Yeah, see,
While you watch me enjoy it.
If my kid had bad grades and I had Happy Walk, I'd be like, got you Happy Walk, and then I would open it and I would dump it on their stupid little heads and be like, why are you so stupid? I'll go to school for you. And then it'll be like a cool 80s movie where I go to school and they
So
go to
Billy
my
Madison.
job. Yeah, but then they go to my job, but they have to wear a suit. And I don't have a job.
This is the worst
So they
movie
just
pitch I've
walk
ever
in
heard.
with-
Hey, Warner Brothers, if you're listening to this, we got your next comedy classic here, written by the Dapper Dads.
I bet it would get greenlit.
I bet it would if we brought,
Warner Brothers, 4027 Dapper.
check us out. We've got some movie pitches for you.
Yeah.
God, Christ, I don't even remember what we were talking about. Now I'm just traumatized by things from my childhood that you've been bringing up because of school. I remember when I was a kid, I had this weird irrational fear of asking my parents for anything as a child, and it came from like asking them for things.
Fear
and getting,
parenting.
well, like getting such a violent reaction out of asking for things, and it's like, and
Same.
it's not like that was a constant thing, but like, as a child that happens once, and then you're just like, well, can't
Yeah.
do that ever again. And so I remember vividly in 4th grade I had to do a leaf book. Do you remember doing the leaf books where you had to like go out to like the woods and find the different leaves?
No,
and
I
stuff?
skipped 4th grade. 3rd to
Interesting.
5th.
I actually wasn't aware that you actually went to school at all. I thought you were raised by the streets.
I was raised by wolves, and that's what I do Monday through Thursday when we're not recording this. Is I now have to raise wolves.
So you run with the pack, and now
Yeah, like the wolves raised me.
are you the alpha leader now?
I'm working on it. It's a hierarchy I don't really want to get into right now.
I'm just really.
But I raise wolves.
I like to think that the noise I heard out at Blood's Point on Saturday was you
raising wolves.
Not like in an alpha male wolf pack fight, and there's like wolves like do like banging on drums, and you're like in this big pit.
Well, I'm
like
not the
Mad
alpha
Max
male.
style.
They refer to me as bitch in their language. I'm like kind of like a mom. But
Okay.
one day those other wolves will die, and I will not be the alpha male, but I'll be something. I'm looking forward to it.
I feel like
that was episode 8.
I feel like this is a weird analogy for your own family life, and like it's just gonna get really dark after the show, and you're gonna be like, we gotta cut all that wolf shit.
Yeah, that's gonna fucking.
But
That's how I talk to my therapist.
It was-
She's like, you weren't actually raised by wolves, and I'm like, it was like a wolf pack. You don't understand.
You
me.
weren't
You
there.
can't tell anyone about this.
Shut up! Just shut up! Drama, I notice you're slipping back into old habits. You're running around with wolves. You're chain smoking on the weekends.
You don't understand. You don't. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
No, we were about to get another layer too deep, and that's for the Dapper Dads Feel edition.
Yeah. That's for After Dark. We are recording this at a normal time. So
Oh, yeah,
you're not
this is
gonna
actually
get
on
the
normal
deets.
time this week. We're
the
just
deep
terrible
beats.
at regular supper time.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The Leaf Book.
Yes.
I was so scared to actually ask my parents to help me with it that I just thought, if I ignore this, it will go away. Turns out it did not go away. And each week, my teacher was like, hey, I need you to give this to your parents and have them sign it because you didn't do this. And I was like, okay, there's another thing I can't do.
Yeah,
So,
I
and it
have
just
a
keeps adding and adding and adding and adding up. And eventually what ended up happening was I was going to just fail this whole project, and it was really going to be a scorn on my grade. My dad, out of pure anger at the situation, went out to Seaver Sindell's, grabbed whatever leaves he could find, and pasted them into the book. And they weren't even the right ones. He was so angry. He just like went in the woods and ripped like leaves off of trees and glued and like super glued them into this book out of like rage. And like it got turned in, and I still got an F on it because he's like, it's late. It's shoddily put together. You didn't even try to get the right
You
leaves.
should be like, but a grown man made it.
That's what I was like. It wasn't me. It was my dad. He's like, you probably shouldn't tell me that.
I love that. That's fucking.
That's like another bucket hand story.
Yeah.
A tragically sad story about my childhood.
I have a couple great school stories that I've really never told anyone. But one
Let's
was.
get into it.
One is like very weird now that I think about it as an adult. But I had the same thing where I was like constantly afraid to ask my parents for things because they were sometimes aggressive. And one time where I went to elementary school, I was in like third grade, maybe even second. And like our cafeteria was the gym. So there was like a stage, and it was like gym, auditorium, cafeteria, like a real rundown, nice little school. And like I just got up on the stage one time, and everyone would throw their lunches and backpacks up there. And there's this one girl that I proceeded to go to school with for like ever. And I got up there and I just went through her lunch. And I found Cheeto Puffs, so I just ate all the Cheeto Puffs. I had like a lunch too, but I was like, what is going on with this? This microphone keeps
Has fallen over. It's the witch pussy letting you know it's here to get you.
trying to grope me.
I mean, it is what it is. The witch pussy has powers.
God, I can't wait to get these witch pussy powers. Anyway, so I get up there and I eat all these Cheetos.
In
like,
true fashion.
Kids around me are like, why are you doing this? And it was all just very weird. And then I can't remember exactly what happened. I think the girl was like, where'd my Cheetos go? And other kids were fucking little snitches. And they were like, Drama ate your Cheetos, because that's how I was referred to as a child.
I like to think that you looked exactly the way you do now, but just as a smaller version of yourself with like a dirt mustache.
I had a mullet. if that helps.
No, that absolutely helps.
There's pictures of me in a suit as a 5-year-old with a mullet, like looking real classy.
Could I
but
get
with a
some
mullet.
copies of these?
You will shit. Like I have some, and they are like I'm posing, I'm smiling, mullet, full suit, tie.
So you've been yourself your entire life,
Yes.
is what you're saying.
Yes, I haven't progressed past age 7. Anyway, so I eat these Cheetos, and this bitch finds out, and then the teacher like writes a note that I have to take home and turn in, and I do the same thing. I instantly throw it away, and I'm like, problems will just go away, like I still do as an adult. I'm like, just
If I
deal
don't
with
think
it.
about them, they
Yeah.
don't matter.
So then the teacher is just on my ass, like, did you sign that note, blah, blah, blah. And I don't remember what was done. I probably repressed it, but the teacher was, like, kept giving me notes, and I kept throwing them away. And she was like, I'm going to call your parents, and I'm going to tell them what you've done. And I was so horrified that, like, I just blurted it out at, like, right before bed one night when I was brushing my teeth. I was like, I ate all the hot Cheetos, and you need to sign a note, and I'm sorry, and was, like, crying. And my mom was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I ate the hot Cheetos. Or they weren't even hot. They were Cheeto
They were the
Puffs.
Cheeto Puffs.
And she's like, where? Why? What is this even about? And I'm like, I ate them out of so-and-so's book bag, and they said I had to tell you, and I didn't want to tell you, and I'm sorry. And my mom was like, are you getting enough to eat? And I was like, yeah, I just wanted the Cheetos.
I have poor impulse control.
And it was like not a big deal at all. I just made it weird and a million times worse, like avoiding your problems does.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I had to go and like give this note, and forever I seen that girl. She worked at like the local grocery store and like went to school with me, like I think my whole life, like so many people. And I was always just like, she knows about the Cheetos.
She knows I
And
did
her
that.
sister was obsessed with me, but wasn't attractive.
Per usual.
I'll edit that out. And then
Just beep it.
Another one that is very weird, and I legit haven't told anyone about this. It's one of the more shameful moments of my young childhood life. Now I'm wondering if I should tell it. Oh, fuck it.
If not, I've got stories.
It's only coming out to the whole world.
Yeah, it's only your whole life on blast for people to listen to it. We give them every way to listen to it too. We're not like nodding.
Listen to this.
We're like, I don't know if I should put that out on the air. They probably won't hear about it. And then everywhere we go, listen to my podcast.
Yeah, listen to this story I'm about to tell. So for some reason, when I was a kid and I was pissing in the restroom, I got really fun. I think another kid did it, and I was like, that's a cool guy thing to do. I'm going to do that. Pissing on the radiator. And there's a radiator on the wall in the bathroom, and I was just like, it's fun to piss on it. Which, as an adult, I still like pissing on things that I'm not supposed to.
I've got
or
stories about
places.
that.
And so I did this like all the time because it was fun and really cool, and all the other kids thought I was really cool because of it. And so one time I'm pissing on the radiator. I turn around and the janitor is just staring at me. And then I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And then he's like, go ahead and finish or whatever.
I mean, there's already piss there.
Yeah.
It'll just be more to clean up.
And so then he takes me to the principal's office, and the principal's like, what were you doing in there? And I was like, and then he like called my parents. And at this point, like I lived very close to the elementary school, so my dad would just walk and pick me up, and then we'd walk home. And I walk out, and he's got like this look that I know, and arms folded, and he was like, how was your day? And I was like, good. And he was like, anything happened? And I was like, no. And he was like, did you piss on the radiator?
Just
And
flat
I was
out
just
about
like,
it.
no. Probably started crying, and it became a thing that my parents made fun of me for forever.
Radiator pisser.
Pissing on
Did
the
they have a
radiator.
name for it?
I don't remember. It was a very.
If it was
sore
dramatic
subject.
enough, you'd remember it.
I think it was so traumatic. I don't remember it. I just constantly wanted to forget that I did that weird thing as a child.
To piggyback off of your like hiding thing story until they go away, I also had something like that and it was just like a bad grade in the class. It was like I had a D- or an F or something, and I just needed to go home and get it signed. And I was freaking out because it was like the very last one, and I was like, well, can't do this for the 17th time and get away with it. So I forged my mom's signature, and I don't know if you've ever seen my handwriting.
Oh, I have.
So I turned it in, and she was just like, you really expected me to believe this was your mom's signature, didn't you? And I was like, well, it is.
I learned in high school that me and my dad have very similar handwriting, and I could do his signature.
God, that is a talent I always wish I possessed.
And then I had my ex call me in as my mom. And then one time it blew up in my face because I would get dropped off at school by my mom, or just get to school. I would walk through school, like high five all my friends, and be like, all right, peace. I'd walk out the back door, to my girlfriend's car, and we would just go do whatever. And I did this all the time. And she would just call me in, and the bitch didn't know what my mom sounded like, so I was like, fine. And then one day I had been sick and I'd missed school, and my like English teacher was like, if you don't do this assignment, you're gonna fail. You need someone to at least call you in. I won't even give you the test if you don't get called in. So I was like, Mom, you got to call me in. And I was sick, so she was like, cool. And then I had my ex call me in to leave school. And so the lady was like, my ex calls and the lady goes, well, Miss, well, you can't, why didn't you tell me this earlier?
Yeah. And like went along with it.
And so my ex just goes, and hangs up. So I walk out of school, all prepped to like skip and go do whatever I was going to do. And then she's like, I called you in, and like your mom had called about something, and I don't think you should leave. And I was like, I'm still going to.
Yeah, like I'm still going. If you don't take me, I'm still going.
Yeah, I was a piece of shit in high school. I got arrested in high school, and I still feel worse about that radiator pissing story.
What did you get arrested for in high school?
I don't want to talk about it on the
We'll talk
podcast.
about it in post.
Yeah.
There was, okay, you reminded me of a really great story. When I first moved out on my own, I was part of a band with a gentleman, and
full government names.
And so there was one point where I was like 19 or 20 at the time, and he was
13.
No, Jesus. He was like 18. He was just like a year or two younger than me. And he was trying to go to this like all-girl party.
Yeah.
And we had this running joke that I was his dad.
Yeah.
And so he was always like, I love you, Dad, whenever he'd come over. And I was like, this gives me a weird psychosis that I don't mind. It feels warm and fuzzy. And
hence the Dapper Dads.
Hence the Dapper Dads. And so he was like, can you do me a really big extra favor? And I was like, well, it depends on what the favor is. He asked if I would call the mother of this party and say that it's okay that he went to the party posing as his father. And so can you follow that logic?
Yeah.
Okay, so he gave me the phone number, and he said how to like pronounce his last name and stuff. And so what
I like that. I like to think that's the first time it ever came up. Like, by the way, this is my last name, and here's how to pronounce it.
Like on The Simpsons, where he's like, hi, I'm Mr. Burns. I'd like to cash this check. I have a bank account here. And see, that's the other thing where I fucked up, and I think I got inspired by Homer Simpson because I called and I started using a different voice, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like
I've done that so many times.
I was calling and talking to her like this because I wanted to sound like I was somebody's father who was, being very respectful about the situation. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know this lady, and she's never going to meet me. She just needs me to tell her it's okay. And I was like, well, he first told me about the party, and I wasn't exactly behind it at first, but, I think about it, and it's like, he's a good, respectful man, and I just hope that there's going to be no shenanigans going on at this party tonight.
Yeah, every time someone gives you a responsibility like that, you're like, I'm going to make it more complicated.
Oh, no,
if his dad would have called, he'd be like, hey, yeah, he can go to the party. All right,
no, I made it so extra. I was like, I trust, he's told me great things about you. You seem like a fair lady. I know there's not going to be anything going on.
Ever since my wife died, I've been looking for a companion.
We should go out for a drink sometime.
You tell him, you're like, all right, you're good to go. She believed it, and your dad has a date with her next Tuesday.
So you better fill him in on this. Thanks, buddy. And she ended up, and then she called me. She goes, "Oh, thank you so much, Mister." And then gave his last name. And for a split second, my brain almost went, "Oh no, it's Slim."
Yeah.
But then I was like, "No, Sam." I was like, "Oh, you have a wonderful night." And then I hung up the phone.
Or just be like, "Who the fuck is Mister?" Wait, what?
Who the fuck's Mister Slim?
Yeah, you just get more complex. And you're like, call me Chadwick. And you're like,
call me Chadwick Slim.
So your dad, Chadwick Slim, has a date with her Tuesday.
If you can be Dave Chappell's, can I be Chadwick Slim?
That one's not believable.
Damn
either.
it. Help me make a believable one then.
We'll work on it when the time
We'll
arrives.
start with Chadwick, though.
No, we won't.
Damn it.
Because even if you're just Chad.
Can we keep Slim in it?
I don't think so.
Man, you're just killing all my dreams tonight.
I don't go around saying, hi, I'm Dave Drama. I do porn on the weekends. Because that's the only type of person named Dave Drama.
I guess the only person named Chadwick Slim would also be doing porn on the weekends.
There's a lot of... I feel like everyone's
Dapper
alias.
Dads featuring Chadwick Slim.
Someone's alias that I used to be friends with, but I'm not friends anymore, ring some other bell, was like, yeah, my... what was it? It was like Buck Hardson or something. I'm like, porn. It's just why
full
is
government name.
Full government porn. I'm like, everyone's fake name sounds like you're gonna do
It
a
sounds
porn.
too fake.
You have a thin mustache and you've been naked on camera. Is what your name says.
I've never grown enough facial hair to even get a thin
Oh,
mustache.
don't talk to me about lack of facial hair.
Do you know something I actually thought about earlier and I wanted to mention to you is that I've never even seen you with like stubble before. I've never seen you
Because
with
there's
any.
not much. I got a nice like gross neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a chin. I think this might be my year. I'm gonna do a no shave November, so you'll see. I'm always like, I'm gonna go hard. Gets like a week or two in,
And
I'm
you
like,
just look
this is
disgusting.
fucking, like the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm starting to get a little bit more of a mustache. I want to get a gross mustache eventually, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
but I do.
So
like
you
a
can
little,
walk out in like an open shirt with a medallion.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you unlock having like a weird gross mustache.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like a whole new version of life that you get. It's like a new level.
yeah.
It's like getting DLC for the 1st time.
I'm on a new level. Look at my mustache. But I'm also getting like kind of like sideburns. It's coming in better now, finally. It's only taken like 33 years. But my grandma's always like, yeah, that's your grandpa's shitty facial hair. You're like, you'll never get it. And yeah, my whole family is struggled. And people give me shit my whole life. But
It's just something I thought about because like I'm looking a little scruffy myself and I
Yeah.
need to go home and shave it. And I was like, I've never seen drama with even like a dirt stash before.
yeah, I'll do the mustache occasionally because I like to, like, every couple months, like, let it check in and see where we're standing at. And I'm always like, it's still pretty gross and spotty. But yeah, we'll see. I'll do the no shave November and we'll see how long it gets in.
Should we do an official no shave November for the show and do like a before and after at the end of the
we
month?
can see. I probably won't be able to do it a month.
Oh no,
I'll at least-
I'll get like up until Black Friday and then I'll get so stressed out
I only
about it
get
that
like
I'll
maybe
shave.
2 weeks. It's mainly the neck because the neck does get thick, but then you just
It's
look
so
fucking
gross,
weird because
like-
I have this baby face and this like thick and it's like black neck hair, and I'm like,
We keep harping on school, but like I remember in school we watched some video and the guy in the video had a beard that was along starting at his chin back to his jawline and just came straight down.
Yeah.
Like nothing on the cheeks, nothing on the mouth, just
Yeah.
neck hair all the way
my
down.
cheeks are like spotless. Like,
Nothing.
it doesn't come
Nothing
in.
grows
My
there.
chest.
Too.
You see me bare chest. I have like 7 hairs around the. I hate when people stretch their collars out. You're really triggering me right now. It's too much. You've ruined a shirt now, and now I'm just fucking.
Bro, this shirt was ruined by this goddamn heat
I
wave
know.
today.
God,
anyway.
I can't stand necks when they get stretched out. Oh, stresses me out. Stretched out neck stresses me out.
Shit, shots.
Anyway, shots are stretched out shirts. Anyway, I get like 7 hairs around the left nipple, maybe 3 to 4 around the right.
Oh,
Not even
man, I
around.
shave 'em. I can't even deal with
but
it.
then it's gonna get worse and weird.
I know.
So yeah, if you see me shirtless, it's very white, very sparse hairs. I got a nice happy trail. That's like
Oh,
all
I know.
got. Yeah, and then the balls are just coated in hair. It's scary.
If you could just swap the chin for the balls, you'd be set.
Yeah, if I could just pop my balls on my chin, we'd just all live a better life.
And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Ifs and buts can be nuts on chins, I always say.
Shitting out boners and nuts on chins.
Yeah, all of my life is a lot of.
And all of your life just revolves around jokes and sayings about your dick.
Yeah, I put it on my tombstone.
Yeah. I have a mausoleum at this point of things I need carved onto my tombstone.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to see it from space when Hubble flies over.
I thought of another interesting story today that I completely forgot about, where I was reminded of it actually when I was coming back from Minnesota, because we drove past some rest stops in like the Wisconsin area, and I remembered this one ride back from Minnesota where I had to kind of take a shit. Usually, me and my body are really good. Like, my body's never like, you have to shit right now in public. Like, in a public method. Like, not like those real ones where you're like, you got to shit right now.
And you're
in
just like,
public.
no.
Yeah. You're at this music festival, just shit on the ground. But, yeah, usually, like, my body's real good. It knows we're going to wait till we get home. Like, I beat the shit out of this body. Not literally. That's how I take shits. I just sit on the toilet and punch myself in the
It's
stomach.
like a violent Verbinski film. Just,
Yeah. It's fucking glorious.
It's like Passion of the Christ, except it's you just shitting on a
It's
toilet,
passion
beating
of me
yourself up.
shitting in the toilet. But yeah, I like don't treat it as good as it should. We're on a good basis. So I think at the hotel I might have taken a shit, and it's a 6
In the
hour.
shower?
Yeah, in the shower. Shout out to whatever episode that was.
Last one.
No, it wasn't.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, who fucking knows anymore?
What are
We're
numbers?
8 and we're big time. So we stop at this rest stop and everyone's like going to the bathroom and whatever, and I'm like, I could work out another shit. I'll just pop in there real quick. Rest stop's not terrible. So I go in there, and this is where I learned this lesson. Seemed like the door didn't lock. And if you ever go to take a shit or even a piss or anything, and you think that stall door doesn't lock, It's probably not locked.
No, you should trust your gut feeling on this one.
You should definitely look into it more. But I did the jiggle, and it didn't open, so I'm like, we're good. So I'm taking the shit. It's not even worth it. Really didn't even amount to anything. But I do get to the point of wiping my ass, and the stall door bursts open, and a man looks right into my eyes while I'm, like, wiping my ass, like toilet paper to rectum. Dead eye contact. Looks at me. It takes him a second because he probably didn't expect to see me hungover wiping my ass, looking up at him.
I mean, you got to register that for a second.
It's like a deer in headlights look, or maybe if you caught a deer wiping its ass look.
It's a very specific gaze that you get.
So he he kind of fumbles around and closes the door, and I continue wiping my ass. And I'm like, yeah, after this weekend, sometimes things like that just seem about right. Like, of course, this guy would walk in on me wiping my ass. And so I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen. Because if I walked in on someone wiping their ass, I would just leave the whole rest stop.
I remember when we worked where we used to work together, there was one time I was in the bathroom and a kid came in, jangled the handle, went, shit, somebody locked it, and started climbing under the door while I was in there. Like, it didn't occur to him that there was somebody in there. And I was like, whoa, I'm in here. And he goes, geez, sorry, mister, and crawls back out. And it's like, is that
I like
just...
how he was also from the 20s, like, geez, sorry, mister.
He said mister. He goes, sorry, mister, and crawls back out. And I was like, I've had way too many terrible stories happen in public bathrooms to make me comfortable. There was one time as a child, we were up in Wisconsin. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, and we were driving back. And I had to just like piss or shit or something. And I was like a kid. And my dad, I don't know what my dad thinks. He thinks like when babies are born that they're just like, they know everything that he knows about being a human being. And so why are they crying and shit? Right. And so we go to this rest stop. He goes, okay, go take a shit. And it's like in the middle of like fuck nowhere, you know, like the marathon stations that you find in like the middle of it was one of those. And so I'm like, I don't want to go in there by myself. And he's like, just do it. We need to get home. And it's like, I don't want to. So it just kept going. He came into the gas station, and thank God he came into the gas station, because you will not believe this, but there was a wolf chained to the wall.
Oh, wolf?
It was a wolf they had in a back area in the back that you could still see into, and the guy was like, howdy folks, don't mind the wolf. And we were like, well, what's the deal with the wolf? He's like, well, he got in here and we trapped him, and so we're gonna keep him in here until somebody can come get him. And nobody believes the story when I tell it to them, but it absolutely happened. And that's why I had this huge phobia for a long time about shitting in public bathrooms.
Because there just might be a wolf.
Because there could be a goddamn wolf chained to the wall in the bathroom of some shitty marathon in the middle of nowhere.
You're shitting and someone jingles the door, and then it starts to crawl under, and it's a wolf. And you're like, wow, this is...
Wolf's like, gives you the same look the guy gave you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the end of my story. Is, like I said, if I had walked in on someone, I would leave the whole rest stop. Even if my friends and family were in there, I would get in the car. Even if it wasn't my car, I would just abandon, start a new life, because I looked at some 20-something-year-old kid wiping his ass
hung over in a gas station bathroom.
In a rest stop bathroom. So I walk out, and it's one of the big bathrooms. That's the other thing, is there were so many stalls to choose from. I don't think there was many people in there.
So why did he have to pick that one?
And he came in hot, because like I said, I feel like...
No, wait, were you in the stall in the very end or no? Because my thing is I always go for the stall in the very end.
I think I was like... There was like 6 stalls. I think I was like second on one of the ends. 6 stalls. 6 stalls of shit with a stretched out shirt collar. And so I walk out. It's a big bathroom, and I'm like, I wonder if he's going to be just in... Like, I would have just went to another stall, honestly.
Yeah.
And he's not in the bathroom, so I'm like, okay. So I walk out, and it's one of those big rest stops. So you walk out, and there's that big open area.
Yeah.
And he's standing like near the women's restroom with his arms crossed, looking disheveled. And he looks up at me, and I just stare at him in the eyes, because I'm like, you owe me something. You've seen something literally maybe 2 people, which are my
Buy
parents,
me some beef jerky.
have seen. Like, you don't see me wipe my ass. You'll never. And I hope sometimes on a night when I'm trying to fall asleep and life rushes through your brain, I think about that guy looking at me while I wipe my ass. And I hope at the same time he's thinking about me wiping my ass while we're trying to fall asleep.
I also like to think that the wolf in the gas station is out running free somewhere and remembers the small, terrified child that it saw.
That wolf's been dead. They ate that wolf as soon as you left.
Afterwards, they turned him into hot
They
dogs
ripped it.
in the back.
They took it outside and they ripped it apart with their bare hands.
It's like the Hills Have Eyes gas station.
I also just recalled, I think it was like last year or the year before, I was going up to like Wisconsin Dells, I think it was. Mm-hmm. I stopped at a gas station. I'm trying to think of what one it was, because it was like a nicer one. And I ended up getting like some chicken strips from there. I'm not a fan of gas station food because it's gross, but these were some delicious.
Was it
chicken
Phillips? Because Phillips makes some.
No,
damn
it was
good
something out in Wisconsin. It wasn't one because I tried.
Was
if
it
I'm
a come and go? Those are
no,
my
but
favorite.
I did. No, yeah. If I'm in like a different city or state, I try to hit up their gas stations just because sometimes gas stations are fucking sick. Like you go to Quick Trip, those are glorious.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like that's the gas station God intended. Like.
Yeah, you can get like legit food and shit and 40s and everything. I don't know where I was, but I went in because I had to go to the bathroom, and I walk up and there's a line. And anytime there's a line at the gas station bathroom, you're like, fuck, I have so many things I could be doing and not this. So there's a guy in front of me, so I stand behind him in line because I really got to take a piss. And he is clearly like a trucker and is very upset, and he just keeps going, ugh, and like tapping his foot and looking around and going like, Jesus Christ. And so we're waiting, and then eventually he goes, I don't know what they're doing in there. Fuck it. And just leaves. And I'm like, well, clearly someone has been in there for some time.
Like there's something going on in
Yeah.
there.
And I would assume if you're waiting in line that you've tried the door and you're sure someone's in there.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for, it is like quite a bit of time, but it's when I have this struggle in my life where I've waited for a certain amount of time that makes it too long to walk away from it.
Yeah, and
But
you
I'm
have to commit
angrier
yourself.
by the minute because I'm like, I could have just, if I would have left when that guy left. So I'm there like 10 or 15 minutes and I'm like, this is ridiculous, but I've spent too much time. I just want to buy some beer and some chicken and get on the road. And so finally, after 15, 20 minutes and one person being very upset, the line has grown. A man comes out of the bathroom with a child. He is a blind man who was changing a newborn baby in the bathroom.
That is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. Because there was a woman who kept like turning the corner and she looked like she was waiting and she would like knock on the door and be like, you all right in there? And I'm like, well, clearly someone's in there. And he'd be like, yeah, we're good. And then he came out, and it was like a cartoon or something. If you were like, think of a crazy thing in the bathroom, I'd be like, oh, blind guy changing a newborn baby in the bathroom.
And it's like, how can you get mad at that situation?
Yeah,
too?
then I
Like,
was instantly, it gets better. I was instantly like, God, that guy was a dick. Maybe he didn't know. But yeah, I was instantly like, okay, I waited. That's fine. Like,
yeah, that's an
perfectly
acceptable
fine.
thing to wait
The
for.
other thing that was crazy was then I proceeded to go in the bathroom to piss, and it is a normal bathroom. It's not one person bathroom. So the guy wasn't even at the urinal or at the toilet. He was at the baby changing
So
station.
people could have been using the bathroom.
The
The
guy
whole time.
could, yeah, the trucker could have been shitting his fucking brains out. Like, as soon as I walked in and I turned around to lock the door and I'm like, oh, it's just a public bathroom and there's a stall and a sink and a urinal and multiple people could be in here. What did you need to do? Change a baby as well? The guy's like, goddamn blind guy, you're taking up all the baby changing.
He's got like a whole bushel of babies in the back of his big
Yeah.
rig. He's like, they need changing.
Pulls a baby out of his overalls like, I guess we'll change you at the next stop. You ever been in a truck camp with a shitty baby?
Makes you feel really bad about it. And he's like, well, I'm blind and I just changed a shitty baby.
I know. And then I was like, that's crazy. Because, yeah, you want to, like, have them do, they always say, like, you know, don't do things for them. But if I was blind and I had a baby, I'd be like, I'm never changing this. This is one of the benefits of being
I
blind.
mean, I would
never
get
have
a
to
nanny.
change a
I feel
baby.
like the state would have to give you a nanny or something.
The
'cause,
state
like,
should give him an Emmy for
being able to change a baby
blind
in
man
a
changes
bathroom?
baby. It should be all the headlines in the newspapers.
He should have
There's
got
enough
recognized.
negative news.
Got the key to the city and everything. Man, shout out to that guy if he's out there somewhere.
A
If
blind man changes baby. Life-changing experience.
Yeah.
For me and the baby.
he really humbles
The
you
ba-
after a
like,
while.
I just hope one day that kid's being a fucking asshole and the dad is like, I used to change you. The kid's going through some struggle and he's like, this is nothing. I'm blind and I changed you in a fucking shitty gas station bathroom and I pissed off truckers. And now every time we drive on a family vacation, the truckers know me and they're like, we got him on the road again. And he's driving for some reason even though he's blind. He really does everything. He's driving,
Really, he does everything
changing a
for this
baby,
kid.
and he's blind.
He's like the
all
$6
same
million
time.
man, except he's blind.
Yeah, we can rebuild him. We just can't give him.
We just can't do the eyes. We ran out of budget. If he was the $7 million man, maybe.
But yeah, it seems like some game you would play at probably a fucked up place because it's a fucked up game. But like blindfold yourself and change a baby. It seems like something you would do
like
in
a
health
Fear
class.
Factor thing.
It's like health class when they're like, take around this fake baby and like take care of it. But they're like, we're gonna up the ante. You get blindfolded and take care of this baby.
I did that in high school. I did the baby thing, and I was the luckiest human being in the world about this. So I was one of two guys who was in child development my senior year of high school, and we took the class. And so the options were you either take the baby or you write a
Take the baby.
You either take the baby. You either
Take the baby.
you either take the baby.
I just
or-
picture you like in a grocery store and a guy comes up to you with like a big coat.
He
And
goes,
he's like,
take the baby. I'm just like,
I'm not fit for this. And he's like, bullshit, blind people can change these.
it's you
Yeah.
with your
Take the
child.
baby. Yeah.
Take the baby. Bury the boy. Bury the boy.
Take the baby.
Okay. So you could either take the baby or you could write a 20-page paper on the class. And so pretty much everyone decided to take the baby. What do you got? What do you got?
I was in the middle of trying to swallow this girl beer. I picture like a game show. Like, do you want to A, take the baby, or B, write a 20-page paper on the baby?
Well-
and you're like, this is the worst game show ever.
Well, and so everyone took the baby, obviously. What happened with my baby, though, was I took it home. It acted normal, like it cried a couple of times. I had to change it, had to rock it and stuff.
Did you shake it?
I did not shake it. But what happened in the middle of the night was something...
Take the baby and shake it.
Take the baby, shake it. Do not take the baby and shake it.
Do not take the baby.
The Dapper dads do not endorse baby shaking.
Or taking a baby.
Or taking babies and shaking them. Don't
Unless
just,
you filled out the proper paperwork.
I mean, yeah, then you can take a baby.
We're not saying take the baby, but
Take the baby. Can we call this episode Take the Baby?
yeah, this is definitely take the baby.
With an arm just like holding a baby.
Yeah.
But so I took the baby home, and in the middle of the night, it started making like distorted computer noises. And I was like,
And you just hear it start saying like, go ahead, jerk off.
go ahead, jerk off, take the baby. I'm just
Baby.
like, and so it kept like waking up and screaming, and then it wouldn't work, and then it would make broken computer noises, and then it would shut down, and then it kept doing this all night. So I took it back to school the next morning, and I told my teacher, I was like, look at what this fucking thing is doing. And it was just like,
I picture like a dial-up sound.
like that's pretty much what it sounded. And
Get off the phone, Mom. I'm trying to watch this baby. That's it. Episode 8. Slim's dead. 4027 Dapper, be the new co-host. That Slim
God
is
damn it,
dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Fuck, we're close, guys.
So I was like, clearly this baby is malfunctioning. What can we do about it? And so she goes, okay. It was doing this all night. I was like, I didn't fucking sleep because every time I would fall asleep, I get woken up by somebody
like,
trying to connect to the baby.
Welcome to parenthood, bitch.
Well, and so I told her, I was like, this thing had me up all night. It keeps breaking no matter what I do. It's not working. And it keeps like shutting down and restarting. And she was like, okay. We're just going to tell everyone that you wrote the 20-page paper since you had such a horrible experience with this. But it was like something that we kept between me and her. Like,
Yeah.
because like she was like, you can't tell, because like you had to keep it for like 5 days or something like that, like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And I just had it for like 1 day. And so like everybody was like, wow, he couldn't put up with that baby long enough for a night. Now he's going to write the 20-page paper. And I was like, once again, probably overthinking it because I was in high school. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not cut out to be a parent. I don't think I'm ever going to have kids someday. I just rather.
Now one
write a
day you'll
20-page
have kids
paper.
and you'll be at the grocery store and someone will be like, honey, how's the guy I told you about in health class? He couldn't deal with the baby one
So
night.
he wrote a 20-page paper like a Charles Manson psycho.
And then he leans into his wife and he goes, I think we should take the baby. Take the baby. Take the baby.
It comes full circle. It's a Steve sketch. It's just my baby getting taken. I found back in the stockroom. I'm like, what is this?
Take the baby. I also like the thought of the paper because I feel like it's the header is like how I learned babies make computer noises. And people see it and they're like, oh, that kid, is this the slow health class? Babies make computer noises.
Babies make
Take
noise.
them.
When you shake and take a baby, you do not shake and bake a baby because baby makes shake and bake computer noises.
This episode is sponsored by Take and Shake Baby.
By shake and
It's a
bake
kid's
baby.
toy. I one time online read a thing. I don't even know if it's real or anyone did it, but you know how you can get those, you might not know because I didn't, those babies where you can fill with water, warm water, so they feel more like a newborn.
I'm going to need you to stop making that hand motion while you're talking because it
See
is
what you-
making
let the
me
listeners-
uncomfortable.
Let the listeners guess what the hand motion is. It's nothing sexual.
Guess what the hand motion is, and we'll send you a fucked up DVD of our choice.
Yeah. So yeah, you take a baby. There's like some brand of baby that you can fill with a warm liquid, I wish I wouldn't have said that.
I wish you hadn't even
Holy
started talking.
shit.
Jesus, this is
Dude, we
gone.
scrapped
This has gotten dark. Scrap the whole fucking episode at this point.
None of it was
Jesus.
worth that.
No.
Take the baby.
I don't care if this was the best episode we had up at this point. Once we got into the take the baby and filling it up with a solution, like, oh my
If I had said solution, I feel like it would have been better. What you're supposed to do with this baby is fill it with warm water, and apparently it feels more like a newborn baby. Some weird shit.
How?
I don't know.
What's the science
I'm not in
behind
the
it?
baby making industry, like as far as like baby toys.
Making fake babies?
I'll make real babies.
Make a shake and bake fake
Shake a
baby.
bake a baby. We
Shake
just
and
gotta
bake a
say
ba-
words.
Shake
now.
and
For
bake
the
a
next
baby.
5 minutes, we're just gonna say some words.
Shake and bake a fake
Shake a
baby.
baby. Anyway, you fill it with warm water for some reason. It feels real. I don't know the logistics of it. I don't give a fuck what you do. What I read online is someone is like, you fill it with like a nice like strawberry jelly, and then you throw it off of a building. So when it lands, it looks like a baby has exploded and died. And I've always thought since I read that, probably at the age of 12, that this would be the greatest prank ever.
Well, you were talking about throwing blood on Halloween this year, so I don't suppose that would be
Yeah, that
far
was
off of
a couple
venture.
years ago, and I was doing it in my front yard, and the neighbors got a little too judgmental because you look and
Fuck 'em.
see a man throwing blood at props, Halloween props in his front lawn, and maybe that doesn't strike you the right way. Maybe you should move because this is my neighborhood now, and I'm gonna throw some blood. Take the baby.
That's literally how I feel about my neighborhood because like
Yeah, because you live right by. That's not even
that's not even remotely
across
Shut
the
fuck
street.
up.
Anyway, so I've always thought that would be a great prank, but my favorite thing to do is I have a lot of road rage and people piss me off, so I want to get into an altercation with someone driving and then speed in front of them and throw this baby back in the air so it hits their car and just red jelly goes everywhere so they think they've killed
You're
a baby.
gonna have to do some science for this. You're gonna have to get like wind trajectory down and like everything.
I
else
could
to get this
definitely
just right.
Oh, I could throw, even if it just clips it.
So what you're saying is if we are on the way back from our upcoming Chicago trip
Yes.
and someone cuts you off, if
Yes.
we have an opportunity to throw a jelly-filled baby, we're gonna do it.
I've thought this over for a long time, and I think I would definitely go to jail. If you hit a baby, you're probably going to crash your car. Something
Yeah.
bad is going to happen.
You're gonna stop going like 70 down the highway once that jelly-filled baby hits your windshield.
Yeah, you're going to swerve. I'm going to kill, I'm saying at least 3 people. So don't do this. Don't take the baby and fill it with jelly and throw it at a car. We do not endorse that.
Take the baby.
Take the jelly-filled baby and throw it at a car. But don't do it. I've wanted, like, there's a few things in my life that I want to do so bad, prank-wise, but
What's your top one?
It's probably that, just because I've
The
had so
jelly-filled
much.
baby?
I've had so much time to think about it, or just whip it off of a parking garage when there's like an event at like somewhere topical,
So
like
what
the
you're saying
Coronado.
is next time the Dapper Dads are downtown.
Throw a jelly-filled baby off a parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my top one. Another one I've always really wanted to do is I've always really wanted to get like a gorilla suit, and then just go in the woods alongside the highway or somewhere where people camp and run around in the gorilla suit. So people
I would be
think
down
it's
for
Bigfoot.
that. That would be a lot
Bigfoot.
of fun.
But I feel like someone would shoot you.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
when I have a lot of pranks where I'm like, I'll probably die, but it might be worth it. Like, imagine if you were like, guys, I have some somber news. This last episode of the Dapper Dads podcast, unfortunately, Drama was murdered.
running around in a gorilla suit.
Around in a gorilla suit.
Somebody
At first,
thought it
people
was
would be
a
like,
Bigfoot.
and then they'd be like, he was in a gorilla suit, and people would be like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
exactly how I expected
So
him
if
to be.
you want to be the new co-host on the Dapper Dads,
Yeah.
just go ahead and
Can't
text
fucking replace me.
402-7-DAPPER
That's 402-732-7737.
to be the new co-host.
Yeah.
After I shoot Drama, after he
Yeah,
runs
it's-
around in my neighborhood in
You
a
Dick
gorilla
Cheney
suit.
me.
Here's what I don't get about the whole Dick Cheney thing. I know this was for topical.
Yeah, so topical.
How do you shoot? Like pheasants are like birds that are like 2 feet off the ground. How do you go from like?
Yeah, and from what I've
Here
understood, with
to
pheasants,
here.
you just rip them apart in your front lawn.
Well, you have to shoot your friend in the face first, and then when he's
Yeah, that's the look that guy gave.
discombobulated, you rip the pheasant apart.
I go back to that moment in time where that guy was ripping that pheasant
And you
apart,
see
and
a
he
guy
just
with
goes,
like half a face blown off
he
in the
just
driveway
goes,
that you forgot?
Take the baby. I'm like, God damn it.
You're going to be laying down in bed tonight thinking too much about life, and you're going to be thinking about memories, and they're just going to be intrusive, and they're going to be like, take the baby.
Doesn't that suck? When you go to sleep, what is the thing that haunts you before you go to bed? Because everyone has one.
We're going to have to talk about
I need like number one, because we're getting there in this episode. We're really getting there. But yeah.
I'll say, how far are we in on this one?
Hour 12.
Wow, that's about where we've been.
Flew by.
The top thing I think about at night and honestly, I can't even say it as a top.
I do feel like every time at the end, like the last one was the whole like Blood's Point thing and it got real long. I feel like we do constantly. Like the other one was like, what era would you go back to? The whole rest of the podcast we're like, dicks, take a baby.
And then we finally get into a good
end,
topic at the end.
All right, we're about to wrap it up. What do you think about before you fall asleep at night?
If I had to pick one general consensus thing that I think about at night, not a specific thing, but I think about all the times in my life where I've done something where it's so gut-wrenchingly embarrassing for me.
Oh yeah, like the cringy shit.
I think about all, and it's like intrusive cringy shit where like I forgot about it and repressed it, and then it makes its way back
right
because
before
like,
bed. You're like, it's been a good day.
Well,
had
because
a nice podcast.
What I do is like my thoughts start connecting, so I'm like, oh, that was a nice podcast of drama. I remember when we used to go downtown and I got really drunk. Oh man, she got really mad at me that one time when I was downtown with drama. Man, that's really awful.
Yeah, your brain just starts rolling,
and then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, if I did slip my wrist in a bathtub, I'd want it to be full of warm water if I was gonna do that. Take the baby.
Yeah, and then
like every 5 seconds.
And then it's 8 in the morning, and you're like, that's a good night of sleep. It's better than it could be. I didn't wake up screaming this night, which I do all the time.
Yeah, honestly, it's all the cringy shit that I think about at night, and it's like I think about maybe if I wish hard enough, I can go back and change it, but I know it's not gonna happen. But it's like I can't fall asleep anyway. Might as well just eat regret for dinner. You ever have regret for dinner, kids?
You ever have sleep for dinner, but sleep turns into thinking of all the cringy things you did?
What is your number one thing you think about?
Death.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. Me dying, not anyone I care about.
Just me.
Just myself and what the fuck happens. And it gets to like a point where I can like hyperventilate. And I've done it since I was like 7. I remember being 7 and being in bed and being like, one day this all ends. And it fucks with me.
It fucks you so much. I get really terrible death dreams where like either I die in the dreams or like I have to see other things dying in the dreams, but it seems very real because it's like in front of me.
I have to see other things die in my dreams. It's not. I don't get that good REM sleep unless I see things dying in my dreams. Jesus. Take the baby.
Take the baby. All my friends with kids are not going to listen to the show.
All my friends are dead.
All my friends are dead. Take the baby.
That's my dream. All my friends are dead and all my friends.
No, I remember specifically I was in middle school and I had this dream where I was walking my dog by the high school and I like looked up and I saw a bomb falling out of the sky.
Oh, nice.
And the bomb hit and I felt it shake the ground and I grabbed my dog and just held him, and I was like, it's okay, buddy. It's going to be over in just a second.
Oh,
Daddy loves you.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Then from behind me, I felt like the heat from it, and I saw the light, and I like started to like hear my dog like scream and kick, and then I was like, whoa! And then I woke up, and like that has always stuck with me as the most like one of the most vivid, haunting dreams. As a child, I remember the dream, and I can still remember it to this very day.
Yeah.
It was like a weird 90s movie, the way it played out in my head. You know how they had like actual physical props for things?
Yeah.
And it was a skeleton, like the guy we saw at the Halloween store earlier.
Yeah.
And it was me as a child, and I was in like a coal mining cart. We were in like this weird like coal chute with like the push thing.
The old coal chute.
And the old dungeon. And he goes, and I remember the skeleton, he told me, he was like, it's okay. I'm going to save your life. And then the skeleton choked me to death and pulled my soul out of my mouth and put it in a bag. And he said, this is how I save your soul. And then I woke up.
Isn't it fucking crazy the things your mind can concoct?
Well, it's so insane that like your brain just basically, you fall asleep. It's like you have this cognitive control when you're awake, but when you fall asleep, your brain's just like, do whatever feels right. Have sex with that person while there's a bunch of elephants watching you outside of a circus. Yeah. Then have a sudden strange flashback where you're outside of a haunted mansion and everything turns into snakes that crawl inside your orifices. Now think about driving down the road on a nice sunny day. Everything turns into ash. Everything you touch turns into ash. Like, that's literally what my brain does. And do I hate myself this much when I'm awake that this is what my brain does when I'm off?
I know. I hate when people are like, well, your dreams all come from somewhere.
Well, then where the fuck do they come from?
I know, because sometimes there'll be things where like I'll see like a red pickup truck and for some reason I'll look at it while I'm driving and think of something about that truck, and then it'll be in my dreams. So I'm like, yeah, things do come. And then it'll be like, also now you're at your funeral and there's one blonde girl that you'll never be able to notice, but you can vividly still see her face. And the whole rest of your life, you'll be like, but who was that blonde girl? Because this was a reoccurring dream for 3 years of your life in your 20s.
This is
and
all of specific.
Yeah, I had this dream, and all of my friends and family were there, and this mysterious blonde girl was there. And I'm like, who is the blonde girl? And she was like, take the baby.
God bless America.
But yeah, I have the craziest dreams. I have like, no joke, have night terrors where I wake up screaming at least once a week. Sometimes it's just every fucking night.
What I've noticed with mine is that, okay, I initially fall asleep, I'm fine. The second I wake up in the middle of the night and I get up to use the bathroom or check my phone or something,
realize you shit your pants in your
That's
sleep.
when the bad shit starts happening, is right after that. I had a weird experience. I had fallen asleep on a couch with a friend, and it was one of those L-shaped couches, so like they were like this and we were like this, but like our heads were really close.
Yeah.
And
their penis heads.
Yeah, the dick heads were touching.
Dickheads.
And
Dapper Dad dickheads.
They're hats that we sell.
That's just what we call our fans.
The dickheads.
The Dapper Dad's dickheads.
What's up, dickheads? The whole audience just screaming. God, now you just got me thinking about an audience of people wearing like Dapper Dad shit. We're dickheads.
God, yeah, one day.
But no, I
say dick. You say heads. Dick, heads, dick, heads. God. Coochie down to the socks like I'm Biggie Papa, baby. Anyway.
Cut that out and plug the actual song instead.
We're not cutting shit out.
God damn it. Why do we have such terrible... What happened to us as children that make us dream like this?
What is it?
I can... There's like... all.
Do you think... Because we're both like very into horror movies and morbid shit. Because I have very specific like movies that could... Or dreams that could be horror movies.
Right.
And I'm like, it's probably because I constantly like subject
like just
myself
saturating
to...
your brain with it?
Like reading creepy shit online, looking up morbid shit. Really into
I think that's definitely part
death
of it.
and occult and stuff. Because sometimes I tell people and they're like, well, yeah, you're fucking into all this weird shit and you watch these horror movies and you go to watch like the most vile movies you can watch just because it's funny to you, but then it's got to be fucking up your mind. I'm like, yeah, there's a part of it, but then some of the dreams are so bizarre and weird and specific that I'm like, it's also got to be something else.
Right, like
just a bunch of shit piled on other shit, like a shitty growing up. Fucked up movies,
fucked up life, fucked up choices,
the thought that we're all gonna die, and all the cringy shit I've did, and it's just like this is a beautiful baby of your dream.
Take the baby.
And God's just
take
like,
the dream, baby.
Take the dream, baby. Life's getting dark.
Life is getting
dark. I think that
dark.
was the first spontaneous sigh that we've had at the same time. So that's a good point to end it on.
Yeah. I feel like that's good for the week. I mean, I feel like if you're still listening to it at this point,
we've released our whole body into this.
Yeah, this episode has really been literally blood, sweat, and tears. We have been.
Yes. Again, it is very hot.
It is. In case you didn't get that at the beginning, it is deadly down in here.
We do this for you guys.
This is my blood, sweat, and tears. This is my lifeblood. And then we're gonna listen back and be like, yeah, that's like a 6.
If only I had burped 5 times, I could have gave you a cup of the sweat I wring out of the 2 shirts I'm wearing right now.
Next time, if we get 5 burps, Fast Finger Slim will gift you with forbidden knowledge.
All right, folks.
Uncomprehensible.
Go hit up www.thedapperdads.com. That's www.thedapperdads.com, not the. That implies there's 2 E's. There's just one. THEDAPPERDADS.com. I'm going to stop spelling shit. I'm just going to stop.
Nobody's
That's
listening
weird.
to it.
Yeah, and I said pee too, which people are going to never let me forget.
We've got the website. We've also got the email address. It's dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com. Send us shit. You can also send us shit off of the website. You can also text the phone number, which is
402-7-DAPPER. That's 402-732-7737. Yeah, we have multiple ways. Like, leave us voicemails, I think, would be the best.
I would love some
thing,
voicemails clipped
like
into
I said,
the show.
we can splice those in. Literally whatever. Stories, if you want to hear us talk about a topic. Would you rather? Never have I ever.
I think we should start doing some... I think for the next episode, we should do, like, a Never Have I Ever Would You Rather episode. I could pull up some good ones.
That would be... I would enjoy that. I want them to be really wild.
Let's do it next week.
Right.
That'll be next week's episode. So if you're listening to this, check us out next week's sneak peek. We're going to be doing Would You Rathers and Never Have I Evers. If you've got some fucked up ones to send into the show, please.
Well, it won't make it by this will air. I guess it'll air the day of. Yeah, technically. So if you hit us before like 6 p.m. Central Time, we can get those.
We can
in.
probably get it.
But yeah, definitely call, otherwise text, otherwise email, otherwise submit online. Like, we have so many ways for you to get.
Yeah,
Just
like we're
talk to us
literally
already.
begging for people
Take
to talk
our
to us.
baby.
Take the baby.
And if you're in Chicago, the Dapper Dads will be bumming around on October 14th, Saturday,
I thought it
October
was 17th.
14th. It's the 14th. We'll cut off his mic. It's the 14th.
We're gonna be Dapper Dadding up in Chicago. We don't have a strict plan for the day. Please show up. Have
We
fun
are
with
ready
us in Chicago,
to party.
and we're gonna have fun.
If you find us, we will give you one item, and it could be
Slim's gonna be carrying around a bag that day with forbidden knowledge items, and you
Yep.
can get one if you find us in Chicago that day.
It's going to be a jelly-filled baby, and we're going to make you throw it somewhere, and we're going to ruin your life like a true Dapper Dad.
How many times have we told people that? I just dance out of the studio.
Dungeon, motherfucker. Bye.